Good, it's working. Alright, we're filming. So don't say anything really like any bad words like fart face.
Or butt crack.
Butt crack. People don't want to hear butt crack. No.
Butt crack.
And then they'll get the wrong impression. They'll think you're into butt crack.
So let's
Or
be,
fart facing.
let's be quiet. Okay.
Well, Kevin, welcome back to another edition of Kalashnikov Corner. We got cut off yesterday because I don't know how to run a camera. But we got a few more additions. What we basically went over was what makes this gun different. Threat mitigation side folder AK over a Wasser GP 1063. And you know, let's get back to the basics. This is imported as a hunting rifle as well. And probably it was the bottom end of the spec for assembly or parts or whatever, and they didn't want to lose money, so they started building Wassers way back in the day. But that's what you get for $500, $600 after tax and whatever. The one thing that kind of disturbs me a little bit about these Wassers is that they do tack on this barrel nut on the end of it. A lot of them I've seen they haven't clocked the trunnions properly, meaning they're just front sight is canted. This one, though, this one I got here is pretty darn straight. It is what it is. I kind of like that they put the little side plate on here for your Russian mounting options. And I have to say the black oxide finish isn't so crappy. I mean, it's a little bit thin. But you know, you're spending $500–600 for the rifle. What does that mean to me? And you know, like when you're out, like I said, hunting coyotes, and you stepped it up a notch, or you're hunting hogs. Down south, hog hunting is apparently pretty big. I remember when I was at Benning, that was the thing to do. Is when you get a brand new pistol, you sneak off in the woods and you shoot a pig with it, and see what happens. You get a pretty good idea of what kills what. But I got another rifle here I wanted to show it to you. I built this one for a buddy of mine. He's a gun builder as well, much better than I am. And he likes to tinker, so he was messing with the gas block. And only after some serious grinding on it, we even get down to the finish on some of these parts. But instead of running the 4-piece flash hider, it's running an AK-74 style. This one was manufactured by Tapco USA. Pretty honest part. It's definitely their design based off of the Bulgarian AK-74, Russian AK-74. When we get into the garage, we'll take a look at the different flash hider options that are available. I've got some original Russian ones and shit I've picked up over time. We'll take a closer look at it. But once again, this is a barrel that's cut back to 14.5. To kind of make it look more Russian or import looking, they went ahead and put the bayonet lug assembly here, but it doesn't normally run a regular pin. It's drilled down into the threads, pin pounded in, cut clean, resurfaced, then rosette TIG welded. Love that TIG welder. It works wonders. It was worth every penny. Thank you, Wayne, down at the welding shop. And so yeah, and you know, basically cutting the barrel back. What does that do for me? But take a feet per second off of my terminal ballistics. Well, I don't know. It's a lot more nimble. You can point it at aliens and blow bubbles, shoot them. You know, it's up to you. It's a world of possibility. But this one, it's running wood, the original wood. It's like a surplus, and then a surplus handle. Side folder, Russian. It's one thing that the Wasser 1063 doesn't do right there. You know, solid steel constructed. Gonna have some billet aluminum ones coming out. I'll show you those parts later. They're gonna be pretty swift. It won't be aluminum on steel when you lock it. That's another cool thing. It's gonna be multi-component, but fucking slick. Weight will be a little bit heavier than these, honestly, but I don't think it's gonna suffer in the least bit. Head spacing. This is something that most people, they're just not thinking about it when you go buy the rifle. I mean, think about how many times you've gone in a gun store and what, is it head spaced correctly? Is that on your fucking mind? Hell no. I want to fucking shoot milk jugs, and I want to get rid of that possum that ate 4 of my chickens, and, you know, I want to bust clay pots, and, you know, shit, what would be another motivation? I don't know. I got the hottest chick at the range, and she's gonna shoot you on accident. Where was I at? Let me light this cigarette and I'll take a drink and I'll gather my thoughts. The weather has been pretty damn good here. You'd think it was Florida and fucking shit rained for 20 minutes, and then the sun comes out. This other rifle we got here, and I'll tell you, man, like I say, this is a competitive rifle, man. I really like it. And this is the Sam 7 side folder from Arsenal. It's Bulgarian made. It's a milled receiver from, apparently they tell me, it's made from a forged steel block. Well, what does that mean, forged? School of thought and metallurgy, diving into big science, makes it stronger. Then it's got, this is another thing I just love about these Arsenal rifles. You get the hammer forged barrel. Supposedly there's some sort of a Steyr technology. Couldn't really comment on it too much other than, I don't know, I like Steyr products. I've got quite a few. But it is an AK-47. I guess you would call it a Type 1 model. But it's got features that are definitely not from a Russian design house. It folds to the right instead of the left. This is a little bit stiff. And it's got a big ass hook, retaining hook here, spring loaded. It being milled out of this specially forged steel. It's heavier. It shoots really goddamn good. I've got another Aimpoint Micro in the Midwest Industries rail. On the side here, I'm running the Surefire Scout Light. Fucking expensive, man. I think I spent $300. I'm sorry that I know I say the same thing. $300 on a light, but I light up my whole fucking backyard with it. I'm not kidding you. Out to 60 meters, I see the glow of their eyes, and fuck them. I get to zap them. Something, you know, mounting these optics on the front here, and it's something that I kind of miss, is everybody's going to these side folder 4-power magnifiers, and as you guys will see in future videos, we think we've figured out maybe a way that we can incorporate a side folder 4-power and move the optic to the rear without doing a chintzy mount to the dust cover or off of this side rail. And taking a look at this weapon here, it has a side rail, and this to me is kind of like the Cadillac of fucking AKs that you can go out and buy. The only downside to it is when you're coming back from your hunting stand, and we're talking if you're walking 7, 8, 10 miles through the hills. And when I say the hills, some people call them mountains if you live in Missouri. I don't know, the Cascade Range, if you fuckers like to Google it. Shit gets heavy. The Kalashnikov ammunition is fucking, when I say Kalashnikov, AKM 7.62x39 ammo, is obviously heavy, as you know, man. I mean, anybody dumb enough to strap on 9 mags of that shit will realize if they fall in a river, they're done for. You're a fucking boat anchor at that point. But nonetheless, you know, where I like to, you know, shoot and operate, stuff's on my land. And I got some steep as fuck hills I gotta climb. And, you know, quite frankly, I don't kid up to go walk around on the property. It's just, I don't know, I'm not expecting contact from the Taliban or anything. But you get on them fucking hills and you slip. So between the two, man, there's a world of difference, man. I could get a scale out in Wayland, but just take the fucking word for it. But nonetheless, man, instead of running, another cool badass thing about this rifle is it doesn't run the 45 degree. Jim Fuller told me down at Rifle Dynamics, he said it to my face, that they went to the 90-degree block because less wear and tear, more accuracy. When it comes down to it, when I throw it on the bench, I'll tell you what, out to 60 meters off the bench, I'm still pulling about 1.5 inches. Not bad, considering as long as it shoots 4 inches at 100, I'm good. I'm really happy with it. 'Cause, you know, like I say, I'm snap shooting these fucking guns at under 60 meters. If I'm gonna get beyond 60 meters and I'm shucking rounds really fast, I'm shooting fast, and fucking being cool and shit. All right, man, I'll probably, I don't know, I'd probably step it up a bit, especially if I was pushing out, you know, fuck it, 308. Because this 7.62 by 39, I'm sure you've probably found out, Kev, it's like a 30-30. This shit just arcs. But the cool thing about it is I'm sure as you know where you live, the brush is thick. And sometimes, you know, you can identify something in brush, but you only got one shot to bust through it. So, you know, that's why I like it. And, you know, another cool thing about 7.62 by 39, you can cut these barrels back. You can, you know, do your Form 1, pay your fucking taxes to the man, get your tax stamp. And when you manufacture it, when you cut these barrels back in a short barrel configuration, they still cycle the weapon really good. And the terminal ballistics don't suffer as much as you'd say 5.56 NATO. I'm seeing a lot of guys buying the Arsenal. They're offering a crank off with a long barrel that makes it 16 inches legal. And you know, man, that's fucking kick ass. I want one. I look at that gun, but when I get it, the first thing I want to do is knock the fucking barrel pin out of it and just put it in the vise and knock that 5.56 barrel out of it, and then go cut me a 300 blackout. Just, you know, and we've done it for the Yugo pistol, made it into 300. We've cut that barrel. I just got to put that sumbitch together, as a matter of fact, and that'll be awesome. But the Arsenal guns that are patterned after the actual Suchka, that are in 5.56, are attractive to me in purchase because I want to knock the barrel out. I want to thread the end of that bastard, put a one of them Gemtech with QDs, and start running 300 blackout through it. There's somebody else on the YouTubes that did it. He's made one. It's badass. I want one really bad. But you know, to Form 1 that thing in that same weapon in the 5.56 and cut it down to 9.5, 10 inches, you're killing that round. You know, the Marine Corps figured out you need 20 inches of fucking barrel to make it fucking deadly at 550 through a Russian fucking steel helmet. The Marine Corps might fucking know something better than Billy Bob at the fucking gun butcher store. You know, so they're badass guns once they come in that 16-inch configuration. But what'd you buy the gun for? What are you putting in a Form 1 for? $200. Make it 300 blackout. And like I say, we hope to offer that to you. If you want one, we'll make you 300 blackout. Suppressor ready, man. All you know. Another thing that is really important to think about when you get these parts, they're from overseas. Their standards and tolerances are different. They're not an ISO 9000 facility. So are the threads on the end of this thing concentric to the bore? Meaning, if we put a suppressor on it that I've spent $200 in taxes up front, waited to get my tax stamp back on, and I fucking crashed I blew the end of my damn $800 of Gemtech HVT, shot like a damn rifle grenade down the range. Not cool. So, you know, don't trust it. It needs to be redone if you're gonna, you know, and that's all there is to it. I would never take this off, put an adapter on it, and then stick a can on the end of it. Your investment could be very well wasted. And you know, you gotta figure, I don't know anybody at Gemtech, I just buy their shit. fucking pay full retail prices at the dealer, okay? But could you imagine? They got to deal with the fucking fact that people send in what they just built, and I love the product, and it's destroyed because, and it's not just AKs, man. I've heard horror stories. I haven't put a can on the end of my Springfield rifles yet, but we'll see. I'll take a look at it, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna gauge it before I put that kind of investment on the end of it. Another badass thing about this SAM 7 side folder, and like I say, we just go down from head to toe. It originally came with an AK-74 style brake, similar to this, what you see here. I put my Bulgarian piece flash hider on. Why? Because, fuck man, you know, I'm all about cooking in on a fucking little bird, jumping off and engaging coyotes that are eating calves in the field, you know, because that's how rich rednecks do it. So I can't be shutting my night vision down. It needs to be compatible, you know. And what's badass about using this Aimpoint Micro is I turn it all the way down, and I just aim it right through there. Wherever the dot is, the round goes. It's pretty quick, pretty fast. Like I said, it's got the conventional front sight block. You can attach a bayonet to it. And you come down here and you can tell this is a surplus part because it's got an additional bayonet lug into the 90-degree. You know, pretty cool. Regular gas tube. Midwest Industries rail. I've been trying this Magpul wedge thing. Like it. Don't really know it's there. I don't know. Tomato, tomato. Then I got the Surefire Light Scout. I don't know if this means shit to you. KE2C. And then we get down to it's got the conventional rear sight block. Typical numbers. But when you come down, butter smooth action. I gotta say that they really did a fucking good job. I'm really happy with this. That's not it's like glass. They put some time and work into that. And it's that kind of shit I really appreciate. It's got the conventional mag release, but there is a little dimple in here I noticed they put. It's a little bit different from what I've been seeing for most parts. You know, typical selector. With the exception of, on the SAM 7 Arsenal side folder, there's a thumb selector over here. From safe to fire, you pull back. There's not any real resistance. That's another nice thing about this. There's not a lot of resistance here. And then, you know, the other complaint that I've got to make about this weapon, the finish sucks. I guess with Arsenal, you're going to get whatever this paint is. And it doesn't take it long for the gun to look like shit. Something to think about, you know, when you make these investments, some people, man, they might buy a rifle and they're only going to shoot it 2 or 3 times a year. And then you get the guys that are going out there and they're shooting every weekend. You know, I don't know, I don't get out to the range as much. I got shit to do. But it doesn't, you know, any kind of real hard use of the weapon, and it really starts to look like ass. And that's, you know, we'll get into the topic of finish. What on your Kalashnikov do you want? You know, I have no experience with Cerakote, but I'm excited to try it. That's all I'll say about Cerakote. Norel's molybdenum coating, I'll tell you what, I think that shit's fucking awesome. Just for the simple fact that if there is a blemish or a mistake in the process and you're doing it yourself, I wouldn't do this myself, but if money was an issue and you got the little tiny bottle, that's all you got, and this is a home project, you can fix the blemishes. It's not hard to do. I try to get this thing coated completely in one go. I use only 3 light coats over the top of the Cerakote, or the phosphate finish. And you know, when you parkerize, phosphate parkerize or magnesium parkerize, they do pretty much the same thing. They make it. It's a really caustic material, and at a specific temperature, there's a rate at which it's caustic and it eats into the metal. But when it's done, and it's done properly, it leaves little pits and caves. And if you looked at it under a microscope, and if you've not got any petroleum-based oils or anything to fill those holes, and this is easily proven, man. If you got a parkerized gun, run 90 rounds through it consecutively. Keep it pointing in a safe direction for cook-offs, and then look at your barrel if it's parkerized. It'll start to turn white, gray, and you'll see crystals in it and shit. I'm sure you're familiar with it on the 240 mil. What you're seeing there is the barrel got so hot it cooked the oil out of it. When it comes out of the park tank, it goes right into a freshwater bath, and you get all the caustic solvents off of it. And then I'll pull it out, and I'll hit it with a heat gun, and that cocksucker will start turning white. And that's when the gun will already be hot, and I'll apply my first coat. I make sure I get down inside the receiver. I coat the inside of the dust cover. On this particular rifle, we put a high gloss finish on the bolt carrier assembly itself. Made sure we didn't screw with any tolerances. You know, we weren't going to do anything that would throw the head spacing out of time. And we just did that as a test. And when you pull it apart, we don't do the parkerize. Here, I'll fucking show you. We're on video, for Christ's sake. This is stainless steel. You're not going to parkerize this with the process that I use. But the rest of this is parkerized. And I put the high glossy on there because he wanted it. It looks really nice, I think. But when you get all the carbon when you're done, it doesn't take much to do shit. It's a real easy job cleaning it. But yeah, we make sure we get in all the little crevices and cracks and everything. And the whole point of that is the solution parkerized it, we need to put moly coating on it. Molybdenum, you gotta Google it. It's magic shit. They used to put it on bullets back in the day. I don't know if that's still very popular. I don't see much of it. But this is the same thing that Jim Float Rifle Dynamics and those boys down there are doing. And they're pretty proud of their product. You know, in my short time exposed to them for 3 days, I really like them dudes. Fucking, I really like what he does. I really like the way that he lays his weapons out because they're simple. You know, if you want to, you can always add your jazz. You know, I got a light on there and I got my optic. And the rest of those rails, I don't know. I'm gonna come up with shit like condom dispensers or something. Another thing too I like to do, this guy requested that it remain stock, but I think I'm gonna fuck him over anyway and fix it, is open up the rear sight. You know, the AK, man, think about it. Seriously, here in America, if you're shooting at people beyond 100 meters, even at 100 meters, you're gonna have to answer to a prosecutor. But from here to your door, you know, in the realm of justification and shit, yeah, it's more than accurate to take care of the coyote or chupacabra, skook 'em, as they call Bigfoot in our area here, skook 'em. I mean, you know, fuck it, you've shot these things before, you know how it is. What else is there to fucking talk about? These buttstocks here, they're made of steel.